So, darlings, I had some house stuff to do. Like, get some more of this paper, um, get some things done. And because I'm not touring anymore, I'm not traveling anymore, I ain't doing none of that shit no more. I get to do what's most important, my be there for my family. And so, first things first, you must start your day off with a prayer. Believe me, it will carry you far. First of all, you want to acknowledge that the Lord woke you up, that you are in your right mind, and that you're even in your home, that you have an abundance. Okay? An abundance. And a goddamn, an abundance of food, an abundance of things that you need. Oh, sorry, y'all. An abundance to be happy. Tell you about that. All my baking stuff. Tell you about that real prosperity gospel. Okay? This is what you call living a life of luxury. That means I take pride in what I have and what the Lord has blessed me with. And also knowing that I'm smart and I can do better than any government program can do. You should know the history of the Black Panther Party, my favorite. And part of knowing that you can do for yourself is to get out here and do for yourself. So as we can see, let me take y'all around here. I did a video last night. You want fresh stuff, healthy stuff, organic stuff. Stuff that's gonna make you feel good, not just look good. Well, it's gonna help you look good too. But what I'm saying is that be grateful. Be grateful for your family. Be grateful for your friends. Be grateful for what you have in life because there's so many people that have way much more than what you got and they still ain't happy. So we're gonna kick it off. Got my water, coconut, LaCroix. Before you start that coffee, that tea, everything. Drink you some water. I swept all my floors. I made sure my bathroom was clean. Got the dishwasher running. I got the laundry sitting over there. I got things to do. And I had to check my daughter's grades. Both of them. Even though her mama travels, doesn't mean that I'm still not an engaged parent. Doesn't mean that I don't care and that education is very important, especially when everybody thinks Beyonce is stupid. No, 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 no. Many degrees, very educated, and still going to school. You never stop going to school. Never. Even you don't have to be in school to be in school. Lifelong learning. So, I'll see. Order my steps in your word, dear Lord. Teach me, guide me every day. Send your anointing, Father, I pray. Order my steps in your word. I want to walk worthy. Your calling to fulfill. If you order my steps, Lord, I will do your blessed will. The world is ever changing, but you are still the same. If you order my steps, Lord, I want the Lord to order my steps. Let's pray. Dear Lord, I need you to order my steps to make sure that I stay on the right path, that I make the right choices, and that I encounter the right people. And also, Lord, I'll pray a special prayer over my daughters. over all people's children, that young people realize the importance of education, the importance of respect and manners and being a good person. And that, Lord, we take away these distractions of social media and the cell phones and the toxic negativity that's constantly pushed out to the youth, that they don't have to go to school, they don't have to focus on education, they can be an influencer, they can get fast money, or they can even sell their soul, Lord. There's too many young people who have fallen victim to this plot. And my job is to not let it happen. So that's why, Lord, my children will never be in Hollywood. I refuse. And I hope that other parents wake up and realize it's a game, it's a scam. Children do not belong in Hollywood. No, they do not. Uh-uh. And so, also because I'm an athlete, my children are athletes, bless them, protect the coaches, protect the teammates, protect everybody together to make sure that the people teaching our children and coaching our children and supposed to be there for our children are actually there for our children, not there to prey on our children, to lure our children into things they should not be doing, to just respect our children, or to teach them that they can't be whoever they want to be. So for Black History Month, Lord, I ask that you bless us and you bless Black children abundantly, because we need it. We need it. We face many things that other people simply do not face, not in the same way. And I'm not gonna not pray for everybody else. I'll pray for their children too, because their children play with my children, go to school with my children. And I want all children to be safe and to be happy. So put a blessing on everybody's child, Lord, because we are all the Lord's children. And Lord, I just want you to come back and show the world who's really in charge, who really loves the children, who loves everybody, because we are all the Lord's children. So please, Lord, I ask that you put a special prayer of protection over the school system, because a lot of it is wicked and it's corrupt and it's not properly teaching our children how to be critical thinkers, how to be leaders. They're teaching our children just how to be slaves, in a sense of go work here and go do this and that's it. I know about Rockefeller didn't want to educate children, wasn't interested in any child becoming a free thinker. He just wants workers. That's a lot of these corporations, a lot of these CEOs, Lord, they are guilty and they are corrupt. And all they want to do is corrupt our youth through their marketing, through their advertising, through mass consumerism of expensive stuff nobody even needs. Parents are driving themselves crazy, bending over backwards to provide. And Lord, I don't bend over backwards, if you know what I mean. But I think you know what I mean, and I want everybody to know what I mean. Is that parents, or real parents, work very hard, Lord. I have stood on my feet 10, 12, 13, 14 hours a day, dancing, singing, writing music, writing plays, doing everything, being a businesswoman too, and educating women as I go along, that you really can have it all if your focus is centered on the Lord. The Lord will bless you. So, Lord, I ask that you bless all women. We are the mothers. We are the creators. We are the innovators. We are the real CEOs. And the role of a mother is often overlooked. So, my work is never done. And I pray, Lord, that you equip me, you equip my children's father with the tools necessary to help our children be the best that they can be. Lord, I'm very proud of my children, my babies, my daughters. They are smart, they're beautiful, they're wonderful. And I know what they're capable of. So I ask that any negative distraction, you take it out of their life. Any negative friend, get them up out of there. Children don't need toxicity. They need love, they need nurturing. And that's what I believe in. And that's what I believe in my household. And I would like all households not to be like me, Lord, but to know the Lord. You got to have the Lord in your household if you want your household to be a household. So, Lord, thank you. I love you. And please protect me, protect my children, protect my husband, protect my community, protect my friends, my family, my country, everybody. Please, Lord. And last but not least, get rid of these sex offenders. Get them out of the school system. Get them out of the libraries, the parks and rec, get them out of everywhere because they are the ones who want to groom our children, who want to teach our children things that they need not know or be taught. So, Lord, please bring the world together, bring all your children together. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So, I'm real with it. I'm real with my relationship. Black women, we have a very special relationship with the Lord. Yes, I was watching that video how that young lady was, when she knows she finna tell the Lord, you don't even know. You better handle that. That's the relationship that I have with the Lord. Because I know the Lord will get things done. And while the Lord's getting things done, I get things done. You don't sit on your behind waiting on nobody. Nobody. Not your family, not your friends, anyone. The Lord blesses those that do for themselves. What it means is that you're going to go through things in life. You are. You're going to go through things in life. Be surprised at shit I've been through and survived. I didn't let it change me. I didn't let it break me. Because that ain't what made me. See, I know that the Lord made me beautiful, happy. And that's how I'm going to stay. And ain't nobody going to do nothing about that. So that's what I mean when I mean start that day off positivity. And also, focus on what your priorities are. Yeah, focus on what your priorities are, not what other people tell you. I'm about to change this shirt. Be right back. All right, got my slides on. Look like I'm about to start kung fu fighting in this bitch. Socks and sandals. Once you do that shit outside, I mean you can, but well, it all depends on the weather. Cause I'm from the West Coast, so it's a little chilly. Yeah, comfortable. And yes, I'm showing off. See what eating healthy does for you. What living healthy does for you. I feel great. I feel great in my spirit because I know that I'm a good person. And I think that's the most important thing that y'all gotta remember is that you are somebody. Okay? You are somebody. So I have work to do because I gotta get on that computer. I was up 1 o'clock in the morning reaching out to my daughter's teacher because it's intern grades. So you want to periodically check in with your child. But also, you know, children ain't going to tell you the truth. Weren't you a child? Didn't you lie to everybody and think, I'm going to get away with this here? We are in the information age where I can be anywhere at any time and check them grades, talk to the teachers, talk to my children. And the reason why I do that is that even though I'm working, they know that I do, they still need to see that I care, that I love them, and that I am committed to their education. That's a great equalizer, y'all. That's how I'm able to do a lot of different things in a little bit of time. So let me get this coffee going. I don't know what the hell this thing. Get my coffee. You know, the thing that you gotta understand is that life, in a sense, it is what you make. And sometimes you gotta make lemonade out of lemons. About education. I plan ahead. I think about what my children are gonna do in advance. In advance. So you don't wait around to the last minute. So you teach your children that if they have a deadline, right, they want to fulfill what they have to do for it's due. Just like myself, I have a ton of classwork myself to be doing. So that's why I'm gonna put my bonnet back on, tie my hair like a cup. Learn how to use technology. Technology can be used for good and for bad, but if you know how to use it, in fact, let me open this up to remind me. And that's a lot. See what I do. I have a lot of things to do. I think about what's most important and what needs to be addressed. And so, tell y'all what. I'm putting my little turkey bacon on the stove. Get my coffee. Send these emails while I talk to y'all. Because the importance of education, you got to understand that the world is designed against our children. They don't want our children to be scholars anymore. And this message is applicable for all people, okay? They don't want our children to become critical thinkers, to learn, to innovate, to do everything. It used to be that we had home economics. We had stuff like wood shop and budgeting, financial literacy, all kind of things, and after school programs, which we know after school programs have dwindled. And they used to be a real healthy. The stuff that kids is eating in school these days, Lord have mercy, I pray for them, I really do. Because it's not healthy. It's crap most of the time. It's not nutritious. It's kind of like salad in a sense. And that's why when my children were young, I would make sure that they had breakfast, real breakfast, not just cereal, but fruit, vegetables, good protein, good fiber, things that's going to help them be healthy. And then even when, they were in school, you'd be surprised how many kids would come to school hungry. Hungry. One time, child stole my child's food. That's how hungry they were. So, you know what? I was like, okay, can't exactly get mad that somebody stole food, but at the same time, it's their parents' responsibility to feed them. Just as when my children went to summer camp and somebody had sent their child there begging everybody for money and was demanding it. Like, who does that? You don't send your child nowhere without, being prepared, without having everything that they're supposed to have. So, food is linked, hiccups, to our learning, to our brain, our body, the whole nine. And that's what you got to understand. You are going to be doing your child. Set this up real quick. See how I'm doing multiple things at one time? My brain, I have a brain, I use it, and I know how to think and do many things. Multitasking is one of my greatest strengths. I can do a lot of things at once and still keep everything flowing. So, for example, turkey bacon needs to go in the oven, coffee needs to be made, emails need to be sent, parent teacher conferences, because I have to check in and see how are they doing. They're going to tell me one thing. but the grades gonna say another. And grades are not always the best indicator of how a child is doing, because a lot of the curriculum and a lot of the testing is done with biases, and it's done to where, in my opinion, they are training students to take a test instead of teaching students about life. I used to be an educator, and so I've met a lot of personalities. Not everybody thinks the same. Not everyone learns the same. And I remember being in school bored as hell. That's one time I was bored because I thought on a higher level and I could see past a lot of stuff. Like they're introducing these rudimentary concepts. Oh, child, please. Been figuring that out a long time ago. And so I would be reading ahead. I was always ahead. As early as the second grade, I was gifted and talented. And so that's why I know when a young person has the opportunity to be who they want to be, watch out now. Watch out. You'd be surprised what they are capable of. And then the reason why you have to focus on the younger generation, the generation right behind you, they're going to be the ones taking care of you. They're going to be the ones making decisions about policies like Social Security, a number of things. If you ever notice, a lot of these adults, particularly in the government and in, politics, the Lord child, you can tell their children have never had an ass whooping, a real one. No, don't beat your children. Y'all know what I mean. You know what I mean. Or they've never had proper correction or guidance. I don't, you know what? Here's my thing. If you're yelling at your children, cursing at them, don't expect them to do the same. And if your children are yelling at you, cursing at you, and fighting you and all this stuff, they should expect you to do the same. I'm just kidding. But not really. When I mean do the same, I don't mean literally fight them. Your children, nobody should be putting their hands on you, and nobody should be putting their hands on your children. And so a lot of times when children don't like school, don't want to go to school, or something's going on in school. And I had already had a conversation with school. Like some dumb little girl or boy, whatever he wants to be called, being jealous of my children, being jealous of a lot of the girls there. And I stood up. He is not going in the little girl's bathroom. I'm telling you that now. I'll be at the school every day to make sure he don't. Because I guess you haven't heard about what happened in London County, Virginia. It's a tragedy and it's a shame. And it shouldn't be a tragedy, it's just a shame, it's disgusting. That they're pushing agendas on our children. And one of the agendas that they're pushing on our children is that they can do whatever they want. And it also that, people's identity has more weight than an actual person. Absolutely not. It does not. It does not. And so I don't let anybody bully me, and I don't let anybody bully my children. And so I teach my children that they don't have to use this to solve problems. However, you do need to teach your children how to defend themselves physically, mentally, and spiritually. Because Disney and Nickelodeon, they're terrible. They're sex offenders. Disney didn't even like children. Don't be going to Disney World for what? They don't even like children. They steal children. Yes, they do. And see, I got that oil. You don't need a lot, but with turkey bacon, again, it is dry. You're going to need some seasoning. So being able to prepare yourself and defend yourself mentally, spiritually, and physically. Especially in the education system. Do you know how many times I stood up for my own self in the education system? I remember, teachers. They're not teachers. They had no business being in school, for real. Some of the things that they would say to students and do, inappropriate. And yet, I had teachers try to prey on me when I was in high school. That's how I know. And it didn't get any better when I went to college. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I even had one professor. Make sure it's still good. Yeah, it's still good. Wait a minute. Okay. Just making sure. You got to smell your meat. Make sure it's good. What was I saying? Shit. Yeah. Ain't nobody sleeping with you for no grade or to get ahead or to get connections. And unfortunately, you can have women doing this foolishness. So you have to teach your children that this should not be, and that if somebody approaches them or tries to be inappropriate, crosses the line, their boundaries, that cannot be. Absolutely not. So on one hand, you have the bad educators, and on the other hand, you have great educators. I know all my children's teachers, all of them, because I went up and met them. Do not think if I'm in California or anywhere else, looking at my calendar, that I won't know, that I won't pop up. My children have seen me. Anything happens, I hop on that plane, that Amtrak so goddamn fast, baby. And so I remember some of my professors won't tell me, you're not going to graduate high school. You're just going to be a statistic. Excuse me? Why would you even say something like that to somebody? Number one. And number two, nope. Nope. Because a lot of times they misdiagnose children and tell them that they have these learning disabilities or that they have this or that. No. You need to find a better way to reach the young people. That's why I do music and art and a number of things, because you want to hold people's attention. And nowadays people have such a short attention span due to social media, due to a number of things. So I utilize social media to educate people. It's not bad to make a little money either now. Come on. But what I'm saying is that had I listened to those teachers, those professors, child, please. And that's what I did. That's what I learned a long time ago. You have to be your own advocate. And you have to be your child's advocate. Do not let the school system tell you. I have to tell you what is best for your child. You tell the school system what is best for your child. And when I say that, I mean you become engaged. Now, if the teacher's giving you some feedback that there's things that your child could work on to be better, listen and work with them. That's why it's called a parent-teacher association, right? But then you have some teachers that man, you need to stop. Because I have called them, especially in D.C. Are you kidding me? A long time ago, and I had to correct quite a few teachers. Quite a few teachers. And I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to come up to your school and have a conversation with you. Because my child tells me a teacher's been disrespectful to them or made a racist comment to them or made them feel uncomfortable or is not trying to help them, we have an issue. Or if my child tells me that certain people in the class can say and do whatever they want, but if she does something, it's looked at differently, hell no. And then also, if they tell me that my child been doing something they ain't supposed to be doing, I'm going to correct them. And that's the problem with some of you parents. Children are children. They're not perfect. But do not think that your baby is always 100% innocent. Right? You got to take things with a grain of salt and look. Because I was bad. I was bad, baby. And when I mean bad, I was like any other young person. I'm going to talk back. I'm going to cuss. You ain't going to tell me what you go call my mama. I don't give a goddamn. Yeah. Only, you'd be surprised when they weren't teaching shit. They weren't. I was way ahead. And I'm tell you how bad I was. This is in college, mind you. I'm telling y'all this shit. I had a professor. And for whatever reason, this professor, and ironically, this was African American history. Because that's what most of my studies were when I got to college. Because I knew we didn't come off no slave ship. I knew that everything you've been telling us is a lie. And so I took it upon myself to sign up for as many African American classes as I could. So I took African Americans in literature. I took history of African Americans, civil rights, the whole nine. You know, I did a lot of, started out actually psychology and political science major. I was double majoring. I was always a double major. I said I'm gonna do psychology and political science. And then I did criminal justice, and I finally was like law. Because I always knew I would be a lawyer, but I didn't want to just go to law school. I wanted to have other skills. And so business came naturally to me. So that's why I studied business and pre-law for undergrad. And so I had this professor who's black, like me, did not like me, made it clear, made it apparent for whatever reason. I couldn't get it, right? And so, you know, they would have their favorites in the class who could do no wrong, disrupt the class, come late, don't turn in their assignment, and, oh, baby, you just so precious. I kid you not. And when it came to debate, I was on a debate team and all that, I killed them all. Because I knew how to listen to people's viewpoints and point out the fallacies in their arguments. And so this professor was just nasty. And I wasn't the only one that was nasty to. I keep that. So I used a little bit of, what I put in that thing? Seasoned salt, garlic powder, liquid smoke. Who wants to smoke? Couple drops. It will definitely give your turkey bacon better flavor. So back to that crazy ass professor. Crazy, man. He had when they give you the syllabus. That's your opportunity. As soon as you get that syllabus, look at the schedule. Look at what you need to do and when it's due. And that doesn't mean you have to wait till the last minute to do it. Oh no. When I was in college, I wanted to go out with my friends. Yeah, I want to do some hood rat shit with my friends. No, I'm a comedian, y'all. Work with me. And so knowing that I wanted to go out, and I'm also heavily involved in a church, it's a conflict, right? But not for me. I already know. Get my work done. Boom. I can party. I can dance. I can do the fuck I want to do. Yeah. And also, it taught me that when you do things earlier than when people expect you for them to be done, you got free time. I got time for it. So don't challenge me to get on up there and teach the class. You gotta have professor, if you know so much, you get up here. Watch me. Watch me. And so that professor, in the syllabus, we had an assignment, and it was worth most of your grade. So that's why you have to know how the syllabus is written, because some professors, they might take your grade and weigh it out through a number of different assignments, which I believe is fair. So that way, one thing is not determined upon another, in the sense of, say you're doing very well, but on that final, you don't do so well, because not everyone knows how to take tests. Not everyone's a good test taker. I am. I can cram before that test, baby, and knock it out. And that's how I had to learn about not doing that. Even though I know that I can quickly get this done. What about the quality? What about the content? Am I actually retaining the knowledge? So again, if we're just teaching young people to just take tests, you're not teaching them to acquire the knowledge and expand upon it. Because that's how it used to be in school. We had discussions. We talked about concepts, and everyone had an opportunity to say their viewpoint. And you know there's always somebody trying to shoot you down, your ideas, trying to make you look dumb. And I have to one-up them real fast. I ain't done, baby. Not hardly. And they're shocked that I'm overperforming the best of the best of the best. Y'all ain't that smart now, are you? And so with this professor, they were how can I say this? Something was off with them. And when it came time for a project that was worth 40% of the grade, I wanted to make sure that I did well. So, and/or. Whenever you see the word and, you know that you have two separate ideas, right? And is bringing them together. If you have or, the word or between two concepts, then that means that you have a choice. You have choices. Now, when you see the word and/or, just like in the legal sense, you have a choice. So it's like, for example, turkey bacon and coffee, or turkey bacon or coffee, or would you like turkey bacon and or coffee? I'm giving you a choice, right? And so that means if I have more than one choice and it says and or, I can pick to do. So I'm an overachiever. I'm an overachiever. I'm very ambitious. I'm very competitive. And I'm nice about it. I don't sabotage people. I don't make them feel dumb. But I let you know I came to win. So I have confidence. And you might not like that. And that's what I find a lot of times that people don't like, especially when young black women, we have confidence. We know who we are. We know we got that black girl magic. We know we got it going on, baby. You ain't gonna tell us otherwise, okay? And so how to channel that confidence in a way, because people get intimidated. And the professor, for whatever reason, they must be intimidated. Because boy, oh boy, did I knock that assignment out of the park. I sure did. And they told me, oh yeah, your work was great, but you did both assignments, and you was only supposed to do one. I said, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Right? And this was a black woman. This was one of my pre-law professors, mind you. So you would think. I've got into it with so many professors and teachers of every color. But the reason why I'm talking about what I'm talking about is Black History Month. And so we have to stand up and demand better. And sometimes it can be another person, same color as you, that wants to hold you back. Real talk, that wants to hold you back. So that's why I give everybody a fair opportunity when it comes to education, right? And so I had to challenge them. And ironically, well, back to the civil rights one, this is a civil rights professor, mind you, of all things. I'm going to challenge you because I know what the syllabus says. And they actually were a member of the church that I went to at that time. And they told me so. Oh, I know you from church. I said, you know me from church? Then you know I don't play around. I'm going to get the Lord on your ass quick. And so I went to church. And it just so happened that the dean was my professor in the class before this one. Because, you know, in college, you got to take it serious. And so I carefully mastered out my own schedule of what I needed to take. So even though I'm traveling, even though I'm taking electives and stuff, it all matched up. All my electives, I got 4 certificates in business for the electives because I was smart. I looked at the course catalog. I sat down with the guidance counselor, and online you could see how your credits would transfer over. So that's why I started out community college, because it was cheaper, it was more affordable, and the same quality content would transfer over to the university. Got my associate's degree, boom, got my BA, boom, got that MBA. And how I did that was paying attention to the words, paying attention to reading everything. And I say reading is fundamental. And not being afraid to challenge anybody and how to do it in an appropriate way without cursing, because I don't do all that unless you get to do all that, without yelling, without any of these things, because I took philosophy. And ironically, the professor, I can still remember his name. I can remember all my professors' names. He was white. They had professors that were Spanish, that were all kind of people. And that's why I love all people. And I feel like it's up to all of us to come together and to demand that we have better education for our children. Absolutely. And so let me tell y'all. Oh, y'all need to check out the creamer. Chobani Cinnamon French Toast. Don't mess with me, baby. Don't do it. You can't. Listen, I don't feel like no eggs today. So back to that professor. Right? They told me, I tried to work it out with them before I took it to the highest level. I said, look, you gave me an option, and I chose both because I really like to learn. And I didn't do anything wrong. I don't have to be penalized for this. I think if a student does both assignments, they should be, doubly rewarded. But for whatever reason, this professor did not like me. And I knew it. I could feel it. And I didn't let it get to me. You got something smart to say, I got something smart to say back. College is different. Paying for this. High school is different. And even in, high school, like I said, I had to check some male professors. No, you cannot ask me what I'm doing after school. Do I need a ride? How's everything at home? I know what you're up to. And I had that addressed and handled. You'd be surprised. Oh, no. He was just, being friendly. No, he was being too damn friendly. And I didn't like that at all. And then, come to find out later on, he got fired. Because he was like that with other young women. And sometimes it just takes one person to speak up, to change the narrative, to change the conversation. It's a big thing in D.C. We got to change the narrative. We got to change the conversation. Be a part of the conversation. Have a seat at that table. That's why I sit on many boards. And I'm heavily involved, and I volunteer. So that way I'm not a threat to anyone when I want to learn. Because on a job, an educated mind, you will be a threat to everyone. And they will be showing you in different ways that you are a threat to them. Because you can think for yourself. You don't follow the crowd. It's not always easy. Sometimes you're going to be the only person out on that ledge. So what? I got this. And I had to teach myself confidence. If you go home, and I used to be very shy, believe it or not. And, it was just, it would bother me. What did I do? I didn't do anything. Why is this person acting like this? Until you realize that it is because of the power that's in you. The Lord, the light, the greatness that is destined for you. And they can see it. They can see it a mile away. Best believe that. They can see it a mile away, sweetheart. And that's what we have to get young people to focus on. Because even when my children were young, I said, Mom, why little girl staring at me, gritting on me? I said, because you're beautiful, baby. Now look, walk like this. Yes, teach your children to be confident, not to be arrogant, not to be over entitled, but to be confident. So when someone tells them that's not right, oh no, it's correct. And here's the research, here go the receipts. Yeah. And when sometimes, oh, you ain't gonna be nobody. Better shut your mouth. You don't know who you're talking to. And I teach my children, you don't let nobody bully you. I just teach them at a young age. Somebody tells you ugly, you ugly. I know I'm not ugly. Don't you ever say nothing like that to me. Yeah, that's confidence. So that's why I was a bad child. I had a smart mouth. I talked back. I used to be a tutor. Even in elementary school, I was so smart. I was making money tutoring the other kids. Oh, I'll help with your homework. I ain't gonna do your homework. I'm gonna show you how to do it. I made money off their asses too. I was always making money. I always found out a way to make money. The legal way. And so with that professor, when I went to them, I said, the dean, I had the dean in a previous class, right? And I do my work. I lied. I do my work. And they told me, Oh, me and the dean are sorority sisters. We're best friends. See, I got the AKA colors on. We're best friends. So ain't nothing gonna work. I was like, damn. All right. So that's how I learned about cronyism and nepotism. Thank you, Lord, for the receipt for nourishment of my body. Hallelujah. Y'all know I ain't gonna eat all this. And so I didn't let that stop me. Ooh, child. Show y'all a little turkey bacon. So it still has a grease factor. It's got the seasoning. It's got that liquid smoke. I could have fried it a little bit more, but I didn't want to let it burn, baby. Mm-hmm. Get me a piece of fruit. Practice what you preach, y'all. Put this over here. So now I can go do those emails. I have not missed a beat, have I? I don't miss a step. Not me. And so, darlings, I'm telling y'all this story. I got my little stool. Also, if you gotta cook, you can sit down. Get you a stool, get you a chair. Sit your beat. I'm used to big old table and all the women, we all sitting at a table and we're cooking and we're talking. See, this is something that we do in the Black community. The kitchen, excuse me, it is the gathering place. A lot of times, even when you're teaching your children, you gotta do 101 things. So people are raised differently a lot of times based off. Mm-hmm. Damn, that's good. Based off what they have to do. So if you're a stay-at-home mom, you still got a lot of things to do. Not just people must think stay-at-home mom just sits on their butt all day long. You must not be a good stay-at-home mother if you got time. But you should also have time to sit down and get things done. So let's get into it. First thing I want to make sure is that before the semester is at the midway point, that we assess and address anything that needs to be done. So if I see assignments that haven't been turned in, I want to know why. And that's why you have to co-parent. You have to co-parent. Even if y'all live together. Even if it's called good cop, bad cop. Because children, as you know, they're going to try to play one for the other. We've all done it. So with that professor, it just so happened that I went to church and I prayed and I looked up and on the pew was the professor's name, not the evil one, the good one, the one that had me before. It was the professor's name. And not only did I go to the church, I worked at the church. I said, oh yeah, let me email them from the church. I faxed it over at that time. I faxed it from the church and I said, I'm having this issue with this individual, this professor, and here's the thing. And they said that they know you and I had a great experience in your class and I see that we're all church members. So how can we address this? Because my education is very important to me. You know what that professor told me? She said, baby, you ain't got to worry about nothing. I will talk to her. And my grade was changed. Mm-hmm. So you never know how the Lord can work things out. and how staying cool, calm, and collected will help you in the long run. Because what if I just start cussing out that professor, oh, you fucking bitch, you don't know shit, I'm going to get you. Nope, I don't need to do all that. Another time, I had a math professor. He was a white man. And he was shocked that I could solve the problems backwards. So when it comes to math, I can solve the problem backwards. Give me the answer, I solve it backwards for you and show you how to get the answer. People think differently. And so I've had some professors that were terrible and some that were great. With this professor, he was mad. You get on up here, I will show you. Honey, when I got on that board, I lit the whole class on fire. They were like, get him. Because I solved it. Doesn't matter that I solved it differently than what you told me. You said solve the problem. I solved the problem because I was able to quickly see the answer. He's like, because he couldn't believe that before he even finished writing the equation, I already knew the answer, and I raised my hand. He's like, I haven't even finished writing it. I already got the answer, sir. So develop a good relationship with the educators in your children's life. And I type very fast. And I pay attention. Don't just autocorrect, because a lot of times autocorrect mess you up. And one thing I learned too, save your work. I mean, remember back in the day, if the computer crashed, everything gone. You gotta auto save and save your work and back it on up, the whole nine. So I had to listen to them professors. But then I remember a lot of professors who were so great. And I still keep in contact with them. I still remember their names. Yeah. That's the power of education. It's the power of learning how to be your own advocate. So I got into a little trouble getting into fights and a bunch of other shit growing up. Well, I didn't have the best people making decisions over my life, like foster parents, okay? And so I spent time in juvenile detention facilities. I don't want to be abused, but the school system didn't see it that way. Nope. Oh, she's just an out of control child. No, something. Usually, if a child is acting out at school, there's something going on in the home. And if a child's acting out at home, it might be something going on in school. It might be something going on at the playground, wherever. And that's why you got to investigate. You got to be there for your children. You know, a lot of times when people see, oh, your parents are always working, they think that's an easy tie-in to be inappropriate with you. Or a lot of times when they see that your child is brilliant and smart, they don't want your child to succeed. Or I mean, people that are not real educators, because you have people who they give these jobs in all these places to push their agendas. That's all. So you have to stand up for your children. I'm not sour. And I learned that from standing up for myself as a child. So even when I was in these juvenile places, and they didn't want me to go to school. I kid you not. They did not want me to learn. I still learned. And I still went to school no matter what. And they told me, you're not going to graduate. I went to summer school, and I only needed one semester of summer school to graduate. And so I was still able to walk with my class on schedule and get my diploma. And this was in high school. They were trying to start me. That should tell you something. Because they knew I was destined for greatness. I was destined for greatness, baby. And that's why I was in every kind of club that there was. I was very popular. Very popular. Even though I used to have my little glasses and my little cardigan and all that stuff. Oh, when it came time to music or art or theater or anything like that, sports, when it had came to award shows, you know, you have the awards. I just stood up the entire award because I already knew I was gonna win every award in every category. I played sports, I was winning them awards. Um, Debate team, chess team, student government, all that stuff, winning awards. Art, winning awards. I even won an award for the most books read, y'all. I read the most books. You know how they have them little reading challenges? I read the most books. So even as a young person, I wasn't gonna let nobody tell me no. And that's how I got through a lot of the trauma and abuse in my life through music and art and education. Because to get away from a crazy Carolyn or crazy Giselle or crazy Andre or crazy anybody, they were crazy, crazy, crazy. And they only wanted money, okay? They wouldn't let me go to school. Imagine a foster parent don't want you to go to school, will not let you go to school. I said, bitch, I'm going to school. Shut the fuck up. I had to. I was not gonna let this drunkie and that cracky husband tell me what to do. And I got the hell up out of them places. And so rather than they hold the foster parents accountable for being abusive, lying, you're not gonna touch me. You're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna stop me from going to school. Because that's what they were doing. They was like, oh no, you must be a problem child. You must need to go get locked up. We're going to lock you up, beating up your foster mother and your father like that. You'll be ashamed of yourself, little Beyonce. I said, Beyonce likes to fight when people touch me inappropriately. Yeah, so I'm telling y'all some real stories, some real topics about my life and what I have overcome through education. And so had I not had a teacher and teachers who recognize you are so brilliant and so smart, I would have not believed in myself because what I was taught in the home was telling me I'm not good enough, this, that, and the third. And then even you go to church and you have idiots in your church doing the same foolishness. Nope. I learned how to stand up for myself and call upon the Lord. And so once I got out of that toxic home situation, I was able to focus. Just I talked to you about me being a returning citizen. You'd be surprised to think little Beyonce did when I was a young person. Because I wasn't having it. I was not having nobody tell me what I could do, who I could be, or abuse me, or disrespect me. So that's why a lot of times I would not talk. Because it was hard for me to talk. And in class, they thought, oh, Beyonce don't talk. Beyonce talks a lot. And sometimes people tell you talk too much or say you don't talk enough. You ain't talking about the right stuff. It's like, man, you don't want me to talk. And when I mean that, people would overtalk me. They would cut me off, interrupt me. And I was not having that. And I had to learn how to deal with that. And so in the workplace, people do that. Excuse me, I'm talking. Excuse me, I have not finished. Thank you. You know. And that's what the distraction is that they want to do. They don't want you to say anything because damn, people see that you're educated, that you're articulate, that you've even been through hell and you are still smiling and singing. Yeah. So that's the beauty of life. You're going to go through stuff. And I shouldn't have had to go through so much at a young age, but I didn't let it stop me. And that's why I'm into everything that my children do. You better be. You better be. You better be. So I feel like there's room for improvement. And the best way to do that is to get the parents and the teachers to sit together and talk about things. And so when I meet the teachers for back to school night, I'm very happy to meet them. And I meet everyone. I meet the principal, the vice principal, everyone. And I let them know that I'm here to make sure my child is successful. And there's anything that you think I need to know or I need to help them with, their father, whatever, we're here to do it. And so that's the thing. That's the role of the parenthood. Parents have to, even if y'all not married anymore, if we don't live together anymore, you have to work together so your children know. You cannot go to the other parent and be like, "Mom's tripping," or you can't come, "Dad's tripping." How them grades looking? How them grades looking? Let me go get my pad and piece of paper. Because you need to write things down. You can't remember it all, y'all. Trust me. And I have a photographic memory, photogenic memory, all that shit. I can remember names, dates, times, what people look like, the whole 9 areas. Yeah, I remember. And so I remember people that wasn't that nice and kind and wanted to bully me, like my classmates. You're not gonna bully me. No, you're not. Confidence, knowing that even if somebody don't love you, even if you feel like nobody love you, the Lord loves me. And that's where my confidence come from. And many nights and many days I spent crying. Lord, why they doing this to me? Lord, they so evil. Lord, get them. And yeah, I'm very spiritual. Lord, kill their ass. Yes. Yes. Lord gonna get you. And that's how I live my life. That's why I keep my hands to myself. That's why I am cognizant of the words that come out of my mouth. And I'm cognizant of if somebody's trying to do something to me or do something to my family that I don't agree with, how to stand up and hold them accountable. The black mother, we're often seen as a superwoman. There's actually an article from NIH, you should look it up. The superwoman. We're not allowed to cry. We're not allowed to have feelings. We're not allowed to do anything. We're just supposed to be strong all the damn time. That shit is tiring. That shit is tiring. I shouldn't have to be that damn strong all the time. I gotta carry the whole weight of the world on my shoulders every day. No, I do not. No, I don't. And so realizing that what we go through impacts our children. So that's why mama is home for good. For good. And now I have the time to be who I'm supposed to be who I started out being, just a stay at home mother. A stay-at-home businesswoman. Because even when my children were little, and even when I was working in the government, military, law enforcement, y'all know the whole spiel. I was working on my business, and I was in school. So how was I able to hold down jobs, open businesses, volunteer, be there for my children, be there for my family, everything? Because I was able to stay at home and do it, which meant I could do everything from home well before Zoom and all that stuff came about. I was a big fan of working from home, going to school online. So I started out going to school. You know, I realized you could take classes online. I ain't got to go travel. And that was wonderful. I ain't got to sit in traffic. Especially imagine even before I had children. You working a full-time job and then you gotta go to your other job or you gotta go to school. You're tired. And I did it. Held my baby in one hand, typing my papers in the other. So let's see. Tomorrow, 2:40. And I keep a list. And also, I'm going to put up my whiteboards. So that way I write down what's due. And so for my children, to help them, what I do is I give them notebooks and I say, write down, even though you have a computer, use your smartphone to set reminders of when things are done or due. Use your calendar to put it on a calendar. Okay, I need to do this by this date. And then if you need assistance with something, it's always better to come to someone in advance. Don't wait till the night before your assignment is due if you need assistance. And that's why I'm proud of my daughters, because they do these things, you know. And a lot of times the curriculum is not as challenging or as engaging as they think it is. Seriously. So I think of creative ways. Okay, You want to play this sport? You want to play this instrument? I'm all for it. As long as those grades are good. And even if the grades are good, I don't pull them out of those things. I pull back the allowance. I pull back the shopping, the getting the hair done, the getting the nails done. I pull back the iPhone. Everything. Don't play with me. Homecoming, Christmas, and prom will be canceled, baby. But I tell them that as a warning. And then I help them correct their behavior so that way they can earn back their stuff. And fortunately, I haven't had to follow through with a lot of that stuff. But when I do follow through, then they know it's serious business. Mama ain't playing. Nope. That's why I'm proud of them. And then a lot of times they incentivize them. Okay, you had a good week in school. You did everything you were supposed to do. Hey, go here's some money. Go have fun with your friends. Y'all want to go to the mall. Y'all want to go to the movies. Whatever. Incentivize. So I don't buy my children's love. I tell them Jordans and iPhones, that's for the best grades. And they don't have to get straight A's. But to me, anything less than a C, unacceptable. See your way out of here. And even a C, not when I know what my children are capable of. I taught my children how to read well before they went to preschool. They knew how to read, they were potty trained the whole nine. That's how it's supposed to be. Do not send your child to school unprepared. And when something don't feel right in school, exactly. Alright, tomorrow, let's see, let's do 8:45. This is another teacher. And I love it. I love letting teachers know I am there to support not only my student, but if you're a good teacher, I'm there to support you too. Because I used to be a teacher. And a lot of times, teachers and even principals, they got to deal with foolishness from the school board, from the administration, and they don't set the curriculum. And a lot of times there's no uniformity when it comes to consistency. So all teachers are different. Get to know your teachers. And so I just want to give a special shout out to all the professors and teachers and educators in my life. You done made me a star, baby. Because they knew I was a star. I was born a star. And they told me, don't let nothing hold you back. Nothing. And that's what I believe in. So now y'all got to know a little bit about me and what I've been through. And I'm a survivor of many things. Racism, discrimination, sexual harassment, stalking, the whole nine. And still I rise because I'm a phenomenal woman. And I'm very educated. And I like that. And I continue to learn. So a lot of times with trying to solve problems, things can be difficult. But you don't have to make the process more difficult by you being difficult. And so I'm gonna talk to some of you parents, some of you so-called parents. Um, how can I say this? You are responsible for your children, right? And so when they're not in your care, you want to teach them how to make the best decisions possible. And you also want to teach them how to interact with people and how to know when someone is being inappropriate with your child or not trying to really teach your child. And if your child is being inappropriate or being disrespectful or doing all these things, then you need to figure out what's going on. Yeah. And don't go up to the school ready to fight everybody when your child is guilty and in the wrong. But if they messing with your baby, you best get on up to that school. And that's what I'm known for. Don't play with me or my children. My daughters are beautiful. I need two shotguns. Bang, bang. Get away. Get away. Get away. Get away. Really. And to teach them it's okay to be confident. It's okay to be happy, to be who you are. My daughter said, Mommy, one day I wanted to do this assignment, and these were some Spanish kids. And they told my daughter she couldn't do the assignment. She said, but I'm supposed to. They said, no, we want her. And it was a little white girl. And so I taught my daughter how to stand up for herself. I said, oh no, you go to school tomorrow. And the first thing you do is not just tell the teacher, because sometimes you tell the teacher don't do nothing. All right? No, no, no. You teach your child to how to resolve conflicts without having to run to the teacher. But if they need to go to the teacher, they already tried to resolve it themselves first, the appropriate way. A number of things. And so I said, you tell them, oh no, I'm doing this assignment. This is what I'm here for. Now let's get to work. If they say anything else, you go right to the teacher. We have a situation to where I'm supposed to be doing this project and I'm being told I can't do it. I'm not supposed to do it. And then if the teacher don't do the right response, best believe I'll be up at that school. And that's what my daughter did. And then she didn't have no problem because I didn't fault the children for being taught something because children don't normally do that. It's the parents, it's what is being taught in the home. So people teach their children their traditions. And so that's why it's important as a black mother, as a black parent, that you teach your children about what other people teach their children. That's the message that I'm bringing on home. And how to interact, you know. And so the little girl that was gritting on my baby a long time ago, she was black. Then I had an issue with someone who's white, an issue with somebody Spanish. So you get one, and then even the little child that was begging at camp, they were Asian. They were begging everyone. And I told my daughters, you don't give them nothing. You tell them, don't you be asking for my money. Where's your mama? Oh yeah, black women could like, where your mama at? And so even as a teacher, even at college, I don't like when people are trying to bully another student or don't want them to speak. And a lot of times, the men think they have all the answers. And I used to shut them down. Shut your mouth. In my mind is what I say. But what comes out of my mouth is, I got this. So that's a way to be confident. It's not conceited. I'm not arrogant. I'm not any of those things. I am confident and I stand firm on what I know the Lord has for me and for my children. And when they need something, I go and I get it. I go and I get it. Y'all better get these scholarships. I'm already racking up scholarships for my children before they even graduate. You absolutely right. I'm already looking at what schools they're going to want to go to. So that way this summer, we going on tours. I'm taking them just like I went on the HBCU tour. We go on college tours. We're going to look at some colleges. And even when I was young, I took my children to school. I took my children to work with me so they could see what their mother does. And even everywhere, I took them everywhere so they could see what their mother does. That's the most important thing, is that your children are going to look at what you're doing. And so recently I had to drop out of a few things that I was doing, of work assignments, boards that I was sitting on. And even I was taking some classes and my children was like, Mommy, you don't even go to school. I'm like, yes, I do. I go on a computer. And then I had to explain to them that sometimes when I need to focus on y'all, focus on family, everything has to take a step back. And now that I'm financially in a position after working for so many years and working so hard, I love it. I love it. And I'm grateful to the Lord for teaching me about education and just keep working hard. But I don't think people should have to work so hard to get to that point to where they can sit back and just focus on their family. Even I've seen people, not just with children, but focusing on your parents, your grandparents. Yeah. I remember seeing people who had just buried a family member and they're back at work. What are you doing here? You just lost a family member. You need to go home. We grieve differently. We process things differently. And so a lot of times people don't see me cry. They don't see my tears. They don't see my actual anger and frustration because I hold it back. Because I know that's all they're waiting on. For me to cry like they used to make me. For me to be angry and frustrated, start fighting everybody like I used to do. sometimes hurt people. And that's something that I had to realize is that because I had been hurt, I was wanting to hurt everybody. I'd take the whole world to hell, baby. Fuck with me. And that's why I'm happy. I'm successful. And I know the tricks of the enemy. Let's see. They want to meet with me at 2:30. Okay. Yep, I was up at 1 o'clock in the morning doing this. And here it is. I'm back up and I'm getting things handled. Because you got to do what's important to you, not what everybody else thinks. Let's see. She said 2:30. And it's also I'm good at business and I'm able to run multiple businesses from the comfort of my home. I used to have to travel all the time. Fuck that. No man. No sir. Works great. And so when you're communicating with people, even in email, you're gonna watch your tone. Because how you say things may not come off the same way as how they are written. Read it out loud to yourself. If it sounds like, the message might get lost because of the tone or it's not written clearly or correctly and concisely. Now, when I have to send you a long winded email, it's because I'm checking you and reading you for filth. And you're going to read every damn word. Worked in the science field for a long time. So research and being able to support a position, an argument, a viewpoint is very important. And let people know that you value them. You value their time. And be on time. If you're going to be late, it's going to happen. Nobody's perfect. Call ahead. Reach out. Hey, run a few minutes late or whatever the case may be. So these lessons don't just help you in your home life, also in business and also in school. Because if you know how to handle things in school and at home, you're going to be dynamic in the business world. I tell people, I make more executive decisions in the morning before you even get your coffee, baby. Mm-hmm. And even when, let me focus on this real quick. Boom. So even when the conversation or the topic that's going to be discussed may not be the easiest, right? A lot of times people think I just go and I strong arm companies. Well, I do, but I do it in a nice way. I tell them I have that iron fist and a velvet glove for you. Wonderful. So this person gonna call me today at 2:30. Sounds good. Thanks. Now, if the person, depending on the style, I'd start off formal. But if the person is not that formal and they make it known to me, then, we can kind of shoot the shit a little bit. There's nothing wrong with what we call shooting the shit. Making that small talk. It's important. People act like they're too busy to make small talk and they don't realize the importance of it. If you can't sit down and talk to me about regular life things, I don't want to do business with you. Because you're just in it for the money. You don't see the big picture. You don't value the relationship. So, no. And that's not being a bitch. Because I ain't never been a bitch, honey. Never. That's realizing you don't let people waste your time. Not at all. You do not let people waste your time. And do not waste people's time. Before you meet with someone, know what you want to talk about. Know what you want. There's nothing worse than someone wants to meet with you. Oh, they got a survey? Okay, I'll be doing that. Well, someone wants to meet with you and you don't even know what you want. You didn't even come prepared. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You must be. And then what I've had to learn. Hmm. That's something I gotta handle. SAT time. Okay. I did very well in the SATs. I got a book and I studied. Just like I'm getting ready to study for the LSAT. This is in Spanish. And I made sure I used to speak Spanish and French, a lot of languages. So it's very important that children know another language. Hmm. And let me say, I need to write down about their volunteer hours. Oh, my children volunteer. And I pay them to volunteer. When I mean I pay them to volunteer, I want you to come do this assignment. I put them in leadership camps, all kind of things to strengthen their skills. It's necessary. And there's scholarships for it. There's scholarships for everything. Just apply. Let them tell you you make too much money, you can't get it. Because a lot of times a lot of scholarships are not based just off your financial thing. You got to write essays, the whole nine. So I sit down with my children. We're going to write this essay so you can get the scholarship. All right. So I got to print this out. Actually, I can just do it with Adobe. So as you can see, I have things to do. But that's why I enjoy making these videos to show everyone what a black woman is capable of doing, running the world. So y'all run your mouths. I'm gonna run the world. Yeah. So special shout out to my daughters. Mama loves you. And now you see what your mama really does when I'm away, when I'm on the road, when I'm touring. The real Beyonce. Mama ain't stupid. Mama can talk just good, just as fine as just good as anybody else, baby. And yeah, that's how I changed my voice up. So that now my children know their mother's an actress. The best there ever was, baby. We are talking about. You don't know. You know. Have a blessed day, y'all.